In 2016, in Las Vegas, Nevada, 2 homeless men were found bludgeoned to death, and a third one was attacked in a similar fashion, but did not succumb to his injuries. It appeared that a mystery person was preying on people sleeping on the streets in the late hours of the night, bashing their heads in with some sort of blunt object. In an attempt to lure the killer in, police set up a mannequin decoy that resembled a person sleeping in a mostly deserted area in downtown Las Vegas. A camera was set to record any strange activity occurring around the decoy, and what they saw was absolutely terrifying. A man dressed in dark clothing approaches the mannequin while holding a plastic bag. He clutches something contained within the bag as he looks around nervously before he strikes. He pulls a 4-pound hammer from the bag before taking 2 hard swings at the head of the mannequin, thinking it was a real person before walking away. While trying to make his escape, inconspicuously walking away, police arrive and arrest him. The man was later identified as Shane Allen Schindler, who lived around the area. Though his motives were not known, it was believed that he was responsible for the other attacks as well, including the 2 murders. He was offered a plea deal, basically allowing him to avoid charges on the other attacks, as long as he admitted to attacking the decoy, believing it was an actual person. The deal made it possible for Schindler to face only 8 to 20 years in prison, a terribly short time if he is indeed responsible for the deaths of 2 men. Earlier this year, 2 men, 63-year-old Yaakov Nahum and 71-year-old Grant Hustad, were flying together in a single-engine Beechcraft Bonanza airplane in Florida at around 3 p.m. Reports from witnesses at the airport indicated that the plane's engine was sputtering like a rough idle, and it backfired when the pilot revved the propeller before takeoff. A pilot on the ground who witnessed the takeoff told investigators the airplane appeared slow and had a very low climb. He looked away, but then he heard the engine shut down. When he looked back, the plane was about 200 feet past the runway and lower than 300 feet in the air. He said the plane still had its nose up when it began to take a right turn. The plane then quickly stalled before plummeting towards the ground. No distress calls from the pilots were ever received. The plane then crashed in the nearby Pembroke Pines neighborhood. As the small plane fell towards the ground, it slammed into an SUV driving through the neighborhood before sliding across the road into a patch of grass before erupting into a fiery explosion and going up in flames. This whole event was captured by a Ring doorbell camera at the home of Annabelle Fernandez, who lived across the street from the site of the crash.
Caught on camera a deadly small plane crash in the middle of a Florida neighborhood. We do want to warn you, the video you're about to see may be disturbing for some viewers.
The crash killed both men, who were both pilots, though it is not known who is actually flying the aircraft. In the SUV was 4-year-old Taylor Bishop with his mother Megan Bishop. She was injured but survived the ordeal, while Taylor unfortunately did not survive. In 2016, strange sightings around the world were reported by many disturbed people, claiming to be seeing creepy clowns lurking around areas such as forests and schools all around the world. This left an uneasy feeling in the air, making many people question the motives of the people doing this. While most cases were seemingly harmless pranks, one instance in particular frightened a Texas man to his core. He posted a video to LiveLeak in October of 2016 of something strange he claims to have captured on the security cameras surrounding his home. The caption reads, "This morning I noticed my gate was open. I checked my surveillance cameras and found someone in a clown costume was trying to get into my house. I'm sure we would all be dead today if he was able to get in." The video shows a strange man in full clown attire, face paint and all, walking around the property holding a knife, trying to open various doors around the house. Luckily, all of the doors were locked and the clown seems to give up and leave after he's unable to find an open door. I can only imagine how uneasy I'd feel seeing something like that trying to get into my house while I was asleep. Your sense of security is definitely threatened. There have been many people who question the authenticity of the footage, believing it to be a hoax, or just the owner filming himself walking around the property in a costume. But what do you think? What kind of people laugh at and mock someone struggling to stay alive before ultimately losing the battle and dying? Well, in 2017, 5 Florida teenagers aged 14 to 19 taunted a man as he struggled to stay afloat in the middle of a large pond. He can be seen going under the water multiple times, clearly in distress, while the teams film and laugh, yelling taunting remarks to him. Towards the end of the video, the man resurfaces one last time before his head disappears underneath the water and doesn't emerge again. The teens still continue to joke even after this, and don't seem to show any empathy at all, knowing that he had drowned. It's very sad to see such a disregard for human life.
Get in the water? Yeah, he just got in. He started swimming. You a junkie. Get out the water, you gon' die. That gator coming towards you, man. Buddy. We not finna help your ass. You shouldn't have got in. Bro drowning, what the heck? Ain't nobody finna help you, you dumb. Shouldn't have got in there. Hey, dumbass. Yeah, buddy off that 40. Hell yeah, Brian, he's off the 40. Yeah, where he at? Hey, buddy off that 85, man. What made him get, Buddy got in with all his clothes on. He keep putting his head under, buddy. Wow. Something killing him, bro. Like if y'all finna sit right here and still. Yeah. You sit here loud, man. Bro, you scared to see a dead person? Hell nah, I ain't scared to see no dead person. Y'all don't understand. That shit never got in there. He just died. Bro, what, bro? Holy shit, he died. Hey, bro. You laughing. Y'all laughing. Y'all finna go. Hey, say, buddy. He dead. Oh. No, bro. Stay in. Yeah. Where's that? Buddy been under there for a while now. He ain't coming back up. Let's slide. No, but we done sliding. Why not, bro? You see what I'm talking about? You can't roll. Buddy not coming back up, so we gotta call Troy to come find his body. Hell no, you call it Troy and jump this game. That is not. Damn, bro, just died. Like, thank you. Damn. We just saw Birdie die. We could've helped him that. Could've helped him. Nah, he definitely. Yeah, go help him, boy. Go help him. No, baby. This man ain't getting back up. Yeah, he R.I.P. Whoever pop up over here where we at, I'm sliding. Run. Boy, if you ever gonna hit the blunt. Hold on, baby. Yeah, let me hit that bitch. That bitch. What the buddy not coming back up for real? We down there swimming over here. And where the lighter at?
The man who drowned was 31-year-old Jamel Dunn. The pond was located near his family's home in Cocoa, Florida. It's not clear why he was swimming in the pond, or what his intentions were, but he seems to be in distress, fighting to stay alive before he disappears under the water. So a suicide is not likely. The teens claim to have been high on marijuana during the event, claiming that it affected their ability to truly assess the situation. But their actions have still been condemned by many people who have viewed the video. After much deliberation, it was decided that the teens not be criminally prosecuted in this case, as there is no Florida law that requires a person to provide emergency assistance under the facts of this specific situation. Regardless, the laughing and taunting in the video is highly disturbing to hear. Many people around the world consider their pets to be a part of their family, so there's no surprise that a large sense of panic began to set in when family cats began to start disappearing in many neighborhoods in San Jose, California. It was nothing more than a strange and mysterious situation until people's beloved pets began to turn up dead. 2 were discovered in a dumpster and another was found wrapped in plastic, placed in a shoebox with rocks stacked on top. Stories began to circulate of a strange man seen luring cats into his backpack before disappearing with the pets, never to be seen alive again. This proved true when a man was seen trying to put a cat into his backpack before a second cat jumped out of the backpack and both were able to escape. A resident in the area began to chase the man away. He can be seen running in this video after this encounter. Prior to this video being taken, the same man was captured pulling his car over in front of a house, where a cat can be seen laying on the front porch. He gets out and begins to chase the cat before grabbing it and running off with it. This cat was a 17-year-old orange tabby named Gogo, who belonged to a woman named Miriam Petrova. She mourns the fact that the last image she saw of him was that of him running for his life. After the videos of this man were seen by the public, it was quickly discovered that the person behind the catnappings and killings was a 24-year-old man who was the son of a retired San Jose police captain named Robert Farmer. Farmer was found by police asleep in his vehicle in a Home Depot parking lot on the morning of October 8, 2015. A dead cat was found curled up in the center console of his car when he was apprehended. Police also found a backpack with a pair of fur-covered gloves as well as a large hunting knife. Farmer was originally charged with 3 felony counts of animal cruelty, 1 count of attempted animal cruelty, and 1 misdemeanor count of each battery and being under the influence. Subsequent DNA tests on blood, fur, and other items found in Farmer's car eventually shot that number up to 21 charges of felony animal cruelty, 1 for each of his feline victims. At the end of it all, he was sentenced to 16 years in jail for killing 21 cats over the course of 2 years. A bittersweet ending for those who lost their pets in such a gruesome way, especially those that were never found.